What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. So, I did the video roasting the little dirty kid, and for the most part, everybody enjoyed it. The comment sections are tearing his ass up, just like his comment section usually tears him up. But in the video, I gave him some advice. He won't take it. There's no way he'll take advice from me. It's too stupid. And I talked about how whoever he talks to, he's talking to. And when he's talking shit about high powered fitness, whoever he's talking to, he's talking to. And it led me to this. I'm gonna give him some examples, eh? I'm gonna give people examples, glimpses into stuff. In the CDC, there were some changes that occurred around 2002, as far as the Southerners, and what was going to happen on the yard. There used to be a system in place that was the Yavo system. One individual, and he would put people around him to bounce ideas off of, but at the end of the day, he made the decision. Yavero means basically the key holder, right? He had the keys to the yard. And in around 2002, the program changed because the legends were tired of the headaches. They were tired of people being tyrants. That system had lasted for a long time, and it was a lot of headaches. We'll just put it like that. You had people that didn't understand that they were still nobody. They thought they had became a legend because they got the keys. Some of them did good. Some of them became tyrants, and it created a lot of internal stuff. Now, when the word came down, prior to the word coming down, that the system was going to change, the llavero on the yard that I was on in New Folsom, he was an idiot. I didn't like him. He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't have the skills. He didn't have any leadership qualities. And he decided that me and a couple other individuals were a thorn in his side. And he decided that he was going to try to pencil whip us and build a case against us. What he didn't understand and what he didn't know is that the legend that he was working for had major love for me. And what he was too stupid to realize was we saw him coming from a mile away. And we knew that every letter that he sent out, he didn't send it out himself. There was another dude on the yard that he would have that individual mail it to a place, and then that place would mail it to where it needed to go. And so I told the fellas that I was kicking it with, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to approach the vato that's handling his mail. We're going to give him an opportunity. And I've brought that individual on here, on my channel, on lives. His name was Free World Robert, is Free World Robert. His channel is Free World Robert. And I told the homies I was cool with, hey, we're going to get at Robert. And we're going to convince him that it's in his best interest to side with us, or he's going to be in the same boat as that other dude. So we approached him, and he knew immediately, oh, damn. And so every single letter that the llavero wrote, we read. and we didn't let it out. And so what I did, because I knew the person he was under had major love for me, I got at him personally. Now, I want you to understand that prior to me getting at him, I got at who I was under and got a green light to whack this dude. Not gonna lie, Robert and the rest of the crew that I was a part of, they wanted to knock him down. But because I was so cool with the person that dude was under, I said, I'm not gonna disrespect that man. We have this in our back pocket to use anytime we want to. But I want to show this other individual love. He has that coming. It's only right. And so I got at him personally. And I told him, look, whatever, I'm not going to get into it, but I told him what it was. And he got back at me. This is his own worker he was talking about. He said, that Vato's a bitch. You let him know that he has no voice whatsoever. And that's the only pass he's getting. A couple years later, we have another guy, same yard, decides he wants to go against myself and the guys that I'm doing things with. The thing was, this individual that wanted to go against us was blood related to 3 legends. And he wrote one of them. And he wrote a bunch of lies. And he came to my door. We were on lockdown. He wasn't. He broke protocol. We're on lockdown. They wanted us to interview. There's no interviewing. He got his little letter. Told the cops he wanted to come out and interview. Told him which cells to pull out, which was his crew that he was forming. None of them had any shoot time. None of them had done any pegadas, hits. This was the crew he was building. And they all interviewed. And then he went from building to building, whispering in people's ears. Yeah, Dubs and his crew, fuck them dudes. And all them dudes were letting us know, hey, this is what's being said. And we're laughing. Then finally he comes to my cell door. And he decides he wants to discuss it with me. And he shared a letter with me from his family member who was a legend. And there was personal stuff in there that no one should have ever seen. Again, lack of education gave me ammunition. Dumb. And so I told him, do you know what's going on right now? Like, you've never been involved in politics. Now you're taking this leap and you think this is you now? You think you just stepped on our toes and this is you? I said, this is what I'm going to do for you, eh? I'm going to do you the favor. You get back at whoever you need to get at. And you explain who we are representing, every one of the names. And you explain to them what you're trying to do. I said, and us, all of us, we're going to send a letter too. And we're going to ask them to decide what's going to happen here. And he was confident. And I said, you sure you want to do this? He said, yeah. I said, okay. I'll never forget when he got his letter. But prior to him getting his letter, the message I got back was, we're gonna respect his relationship with who he's under, and he's damn sure gonna respect ours. And once again, the green light was in pocket. But because he had blood ties, we decided, let's let him get his letter and we'll go from there. The day he got his letter, white as a ghost, humble as fuck. If he had a hat on, it would have been in his motherfucking hands. Yeah, I apologize, homie. I didn't know. I said, ain't that what I told you? And this dude had the audacity to ask, hey, you think I could get on the mess out with you guys? And you know what I told him? I said, ain't you going home in a few months? He said, yeah. I said, go home and don't ever come back or we're killing you. And he walked away with his tail tucked. I was a nobody. He was a nobody. But we were playing a game he decided to get involved in and he didn't know the rules. And this reminds me of this dirty kid when he talks about all these other, Southerners that, he's talking bad about them and it just cracks me up. I'm like, damn, man, I don't think he understands the game. With the exception of Swifty Blue, the other three dudes that he has a problem with, they've all been to the joint. They've all met somebody. The little dirty kid has never done nothing. How does he think that his ties are stronger than those guys' ties? But hey, like I just showed you, people sometimes get in the game without knowing the rules. In my experience, they always wind up on the short end of the stick. That's my video for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.